Hey guys, welcome back. Let's play Final Fantasy VIII. Last time we defeated one of the game's optional bosses, and then we defeated another one. Got ourselves the last few GFs we can get in the game, and finished off all the cards. Considering we have all the cards done, we've finished up pretty much all the side quests and all but one of the optional bosses. I think it's about time we set everybody up. So we finished off all the cards. Let's make use of those cards. Let's go to card mod. Sorry, today is going to be mostly taking place in the menus. We've got a lot of stuff to take care of. Let's just get rid of that because I don't need that anymore. Let's start off with cards. We're going to get Squall's card, Cypher's card. I don't think we... actually I am going to use this card. Selfie's card. You can get Laguna's card if you want heroes. I don't. I'm going to get Ward's card. I don't really need Eden's card. Yeah, you know what? I think I'll just leave it. Get it. Doomtrain's card. Bahamut's card if you want Mega Elixirs, by all means. Phoenix card for Phoenix Spirits. Alexander's cards. And what else? Cerberus we don't need. Odin we don't need. Diablos. Let's get some glow curtains from Carbuncle's card. Let's get some status attacks from Siren's card and elemental attacks from Ifrit's card there. If you want, there are Gasol Greens, Pet Houses, Love G's, which increase your compatibility with all the GFs by, I think, 20 points apiece. You could also pick up the Hungry Cookbot, though I wouldn't recommend doing this because you can't undo this. There's no way of getting another of Poo-Poo's card. All of the other rare cards, we will be able to get more of them later. But modifying them is going to be very, very valuable. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to go call shop. We're going to call Timber Shop, and we're going to pick up a bunch of Amnesia Greens. I probably don't need that many, but that's fine. And then we're going to pick up to 3 of all of these base stat scrolls, because we're going to make use of those. Next thing we're going to do, we're going to go Amnesia Greens, and we're going to start getting rid of some stuff. I want to set up all my GFs so I have pretty much the best setup that I could possibly get for myself. Now, when removing stuff from Eden, you have kind of 2 choices. You can either remove the GF HP, which honestly isn't really a big deal, so I would probably do that. Or if you don't plan on using it, you can get rid of things like Mad Rush and Dark Side. But yeah, I think I'm going to get rid of the GF HP, and that pretty much sums up what I'm going to do with you. Next, we're going to go to Brothers. We're going to get rid of a lot of stuff on Brothers here. Elemental Defense Junction, that's gone. GF, that's gone. Let's see, HP plus 20, don't need that. 40, don't need that. And the other one is Boost. We need to get rid of a lot of things because Brothers is going to get a lot of things. Carbuncle is next on the docket. We're going to get rid of Status Defense times 2. We're going to get rid of HP and Vitality. And if you so care, you can also get rid of Vitality bonus. I might leave that one alone. Yeah, we'll see. I'm not going to use that, so we'll get rid of that one too. I'll leave GF there on the odd chance that for whatever reason I want to cast Carbuncle. Anyway. Nope, I have more things to do. Leviathan, Elemental Defense times 2, that can go. GF, that can go. Spirit can go. Other Spirit can go. And Boost can go. That should be enough. Okay, just going over my notes again real quick. There was one other thing I wanted to get rid of on Leviathan here, and I believe that's going to be Auto Potion, because I'm not going to use that. And on Carbuncle, we could also get rid of Vitality bonus. I'm probably not going to use that anymore either, just to give them lots of spots, because we're going to give them a lot of different abilities here. So we used a bunch of Amnesia Greens. Next up, we're going to make sure that Brothers, Carbuncle, and Leviathan all have all the base stats. So just make sure here we're good. We also want to give the final strength junction over to Quetzalcoatl, because when we remove brothers from whoever has brothers in Quetzalcoatl, there won't actually be anything that has strength junction. So we're going to give that to you. Vitality. Make sure everybody has vitality. Magic. And spirit. Okay, so next we're going to get speed, and we're going to put that on Leviathan. And luck, we're going to get that, and we're going to put luck junction on Cerberus. Just doubly checking here. Yeah, we're going to put it on Cerberus, and the other one is going to go on Eden. Aegis Amulet is going to give us a VIII junction. We're going to put that on Cerberus as well. And then Status Guard here, we're going to give this one to Alexander, Brothers, Carbuncle, and Leviathan. Rosetta Stone, we're going to hand over to Brothers here. Give you ability ×4. And the status guards that we got, most of those other items we'd been collecting over the course of the game. The status guards, 3 of those just came from one of the cards we refined. Next, we have Gaia's Rings. We got these from Ward's card, and they give HP plus 80%. So we want to give those to characters, well, pretty much so that everyone has it. And currently, 2 of my GFs already have that. So I want to make sure I spread these out. So we're going to, like, Brothers already has it, is 1, and who's the other one who already has this? It was Diablos. Just had to go double check there because I couldn't remember. So those 2 already have it. So I want to give these to Quetzalcoatl, Ifrit, Carbuncle, and Leviathan. The one that we already had before refining Ward's card, I believe, was a steal or a drop from one of the bosses we faced. I went over it at the time. Hyperist, we still have 1 left, but we actually want to get Strength plus 60 for everybody. So we need to do something about that. Well, if you want to do something about that, we're going to have to go back and call shop again. And we're going to have to go, I think it's the SR Pet Shop? Yes. And we can buy Power Wrists. And then just buy a whole butt ton of them. You don't probably need that many, but 50 is a good round number. We have other uses for it other than just what we're going to do right now, which is GF Ability Medicine. And if we go over here, a Power Wrist, 10 of them, will turn into Hyper Wrist. So we're going to use 20 of those to get up to 3 Hyper Wrists so that we can refine those and use them to up our abilities on some of our other GFs here. And so yeah, we're just going to use these on Brothers, Carbuncle, and Leviathan. Give them all Strength plus 60 because we already have those for all of our other characters. Let's see here. We got those from, I think, Renoa's card a while ago. We got these from Sacred's card, if I remember correctly, a long time ago. So if you care for those, you can use those. The Royal Crowns, we found 2 over the course of our journey, but if you want, you can make use of these. In fact, I didn't even need to refine the card, to be quite honest. I'm just going to give them to Carbuncle and Leviathan, and more so as placeholders until I get more rocket engines so that I can give speed plus 40 to a whole bunch of people. For now, I want to make sure my main 3 have it, and we already have one on Pandemona, one on Cerberus, so the other one that's missing out is going to be Eden. 3 stars, we got those from Squall's card. I don't need those in this part of the menu. The rest of them are all at the end here. We have GF HP plus 40%. These I don't really need for anything, but if you feel the need to, you can just give one of these to Eden since you remove some of them, and it already has a whole bunch more HP. Not that we really need to, but it's there. Elemental Defense ×4. These are quite nice. We want to give these to... Who do we want to give these to? We want to give these to Brothers, Carbuncle, and to Cerberus. Where are you there? Nope. Cerberus can't learn any more abilities. Okay, I forgot to remove stuff from Cerberus here, so let's go do that real quick. Cerberus, what do you have? Oh, you don't need that anymore, and you don't need that anymore. What else? We can get rid of that because I don't care about that either. Now I got 3 more spots left. Perfect. I could get rid of other things too, but that's fine. And give that to you. Phoenix Spirit teaches Revive. If you want to teach Revive, you can. Not really the reason why I refined the card. Auto Shell, you could get Auto Shells if you care. I'm usually relatively protected against magic, so that's not a big deal for me. Auto Reflect, again, not really worried about magic so much, but it does protect you against more spells. I think Meteor and Ultima go through Reflect. I'm not sure if anything else does either, but... Status Attack. We want to give this to Brothers, Carbuncle, Leviathan, and Elemental Attack. We want to give that again to Brothers, Carbuncle, and Leviathan. Just make sure that they all have it. And let's see, so we've done that. No, okay, I forgot one real quick here. Let's go back real quick. Royal Crown, I'd like to give that one to Quetzalcoatl as well. Not that you have to, but it's something that's there. Alright, with that being said, we now can make a bunch of changes. And those changes are, I would like to remove, where are you, Brothers. We'll adjust our setup a little bit in a moment here. We want to remove Leviathan. And we want to remove, where are we here, Carbuncle. And the reason we want to do that is because we want to give those to our extra characters, because there will actually be a point coming up where we're going to want to have all of the abilities for all of the characters and make sure we don't have to switch things back and forth over and over and over again. And over here, either Carbuncle or Leviathan, it doesn't really matter which. They're both basically the same in terms of what we're going to do with them. And Leviathan goes over here. You could use Recover if you wanted to. That's entirely up to you. Now that I've done that, I'm going to re-establish all of my junctions. But if you'll notice here, we've spread everything out so that everybody has Luck, Evade, Hit, and Speed, as well as all the base stats. And then all the other characters will have all the base stats plus Speed. One is going to be missing out on Speed because I just don't have enough to get Speed for everyone right away. And if we go over here, you'll notice that one person is missing out on Elemental Defense ×4. And again, that's because we don't have that item yet. We will get it before the end of the game, and that'll make things easier there. Everyone else is going to have all 4 defenses on Elemental and Status. And yeah, pretty much as protected as we can possibly be. So what I'm going to do now is, let's see here. Let's go over some of the other things that we got. Let's go back into the menu real quick here. So yeah, the only reason to refine Cypher's card is for the Diamond Armors. If for whatever reason you care, it gives you HP plus 40%. It's not a huge thing, but it's not terrible either. If you actually use GFs, it's nice to have. Let's see, if we refined Eden's card, we would have been able to get an item that gives us... Go take a look, find out which item it is, because I don't remember off the top of my head. I've got a lot of notes for this, but it's Monk's Codes. Okay, Monk's Codes you can use to give yourself counter. You care to have a bunch of people with counter, that's an option. It's not a real big thing for me, but that's fine. Next... we got, what are they? We got Phoenix something or other. They're over here at the end. Phoenix Spirits. If you didn't want to draw, like I did in a couple episodes back there, you can get 100 full lives from doing it this way. There's also another battle coming up where we're going to be able to draw full lives again. So that's another option if you don't want to do that. It also teaches you Revive if you wanted to have Revive. Not really a big deal there. And let's see what's next. Let's see, Time Magic. If you... actually, no, it's over here. What am I doing? 3 stars. If you didn't want to draw more triples, then here are triples for as many characters as you want. Much easier way of getting it than what I did, but I wanted to get mine earlier, so it's there. Next, we've got... Is it in Time Magic? It's not in Time Magic. It is in Support Magic, probably. If you still need shells for some reason, there are shells. There are reflects if you still need those for some reason. Again, I want all of those spells for everybody. We'll be going over that momentarily. And then, of course, a Minotaur's card turned into... Where are they here? The Adamantites. And if you get, let's see here, 20 Adamantites, you can refine it into an item that gives, I think it's a Steel Curtain, and it will give you Auto Protect. Auto Protect's actually not bad. We don't have, actually we do have a way of farming these. We can farm these from adamantines on the beaches near the Timber region. Timber region, also, we'll show it on the map here since that's easier, and Longhorn Beach, which is down here, I think? I think that's one of it, because that's the island closest to hell. So yeah, it'll be over here on the beach somewhere. Just go over there and you can farm adamantoises and get adamantines from them if you're so inclined to do that. There's a faster way of doing it later, but that's up to you. What else? Okay, so as far as magic goes, I've got pretty much all the spells that I want to get. Except for auras. I haven't maxed those out yet. There's a place upcoming where we'll be able to draw them, but since we've made it to SR, we've been able to get as many of them as we needed. And the way that we do that is we go into Refine here, and I believe it's in Tool Refine, if I remember correctly, where the Power Wrist will turn into Aura Stones. So we turn them into Aura Stones, and then we go to Support Magic, and we take our Aura Stones and we turn them into Auras. And we can max out all of our Aura spells right like this, really quickly. Doesn't take a lot of time. It takes a bunch of money, but I've shown you that we haven't really needed all the money that we have, and, well, I spent about just under half of it in getting all of those Power Wrists, and I might as well do something with them. So let's do that. Nope, a little too far out. A little too far over. Tool Refine. Let's do that one more time. Keep one Power Wrist for whatever reason, for a spot in the inventory. Sounds good enough to me. And so we're going to give everybody a few, just so that they can junction it if they want. I could also max them out and just buy more. In fact, I probably will off screen. But there's the aura spells you can get. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you, I wouldn't say the absolute best, but one of the best ways you could set up your characters here with spells. So on the HP front, Holy is pretty much your best bet. It's the 4th best spell in the game for HP. The better ones are Full Life, Meteor, and Ultima. Ultima I prefer to have on Strength because that's my favorite junction to have because I use more normal attacks and limits than anything else. So that makes sense for me. Meltdown is, let's see, the 3rd best, or no, it's tied for the 2nd best with Full Life. The only thing better is Ultima. You'll notice a trend here. Ultima is going to be better than everything for everything. Ultima is also the best thing on Magic. 2nd place on Magic is Triple, then Pain, and then Meteor is a 4th, unfortunately. But that's just the way it's going to go, at least for now. There are other setups that I could employ that would be better for Magic, but it's not my preferred stat right now because I don't really need to draw that much. Spirit, we have Reflect, which is the 3rd best. The only 2 better are Full Life and Ultima. They have jobs to do. Triple is actually the best thing for speed. In fact, it's even better than Ultima. It's one of the few things where Ultima is not better. Evade Tornado, surprisingly, is the 3rd best. The only things better are Ultima and Triple, and they have much better uses. Now, your stat on Evade is partially determined by your speed stat. So the higher you have on speed, the more you're going to get out of evade. So even though technically you'll get a higher base evade stat by putting triple there, your evade stat will indeed be higher if you put, let's show this off. So we have 21, put it there, and let's put something else there. What else is decent? So we had 21, we need to put Tornado there. It ends up tying it off, but we have less speed. So the only way to really be better is to put Ultima there. Oh, okay, Haste there. We can get 1% more evade otherwise. I wouldn't recommend that. Haste, though, is a decent spell. It's actually the third best for speed, if you care to do that. But yeah, I just wanted to kind of go over that. They are highly linked, and so putting Tornado on there is pretty much your best bet. For double on hit, it's actually the, tied for fourth best. The only things better are Aura, Ultima, and Triple. But we don't really need hit percentage, so it's not such a big deal. Best thing we can put on luck, again, as I've been saying, is Ultima. The next best is actually a tie between Pain and Aura. Aura doesn't have anywhere better to be, so we're going to put it right there. Best things you can put on elemental defense are well, technically the best thing is Ultima, because you put Ultima there, it gives you, if you have 100 Ultimas, it gives you 100% protection against all elements. So it's broken levels of good, but I'd much rather have it over there. Full life, life, shell, and instead of protect, we're going to upgrade to flare. We have 90% protection against most things, 70% absorption, which is what the green star indicates from the base 3 elements. And yeah, over here, we're going to want to protect ourselves against Berserk and Death and Pain and Confuse. And as far as our status attack, we can pick what we want. I'm going to put Sleep on your attack, and other characters, I will use maybe Silence, or Drain, or if you still have it, Blind. I've given blinds to my extra characters. Speaking of which, I also want to refine some sleep spells for my other characters, so we need to go to Status Magic. If you want more Berserks for your extra characters, Steel Pipes, you can get those from Wendigos. Breaks, if you want those, from Cockatrice Pinions, obviously from Cockatrices. Blinds from Ochu Tentacles, from Ochus. Let's see, if you want more Confuses, you can get them from Betrayer Swords or Betrayal Swords. Give those to all your characters. Sleep Powder gives us more sleeps. There's an airplane going by. Sorry if you can hear that. Pains from Curse Spikes, or go draw them. I would prefer you draw them. Meltdowns from... I'm not going to fill it up for just one. But Meltdowns from Mystery Fluids, or go draw them from Guileless. Let's see, anything else? I guess Silences you can get from Silence Powder, or you can go draw them from Grats. I believe you also get Silence Powder from Grats, so you could go do that. And let's see, so the Sleep Powder... Where do we get more Sleep Powder again? Sleep Powder can also be gotten from Grats as a drop, and you can steal Sleep Powder from Fungars. I'm sure you can find those guys all over the place. That's entirely up to you. So we're going to give those to Zell, because I only have enough to give to one character. That's fine, I only need them for one character anyway. So anyway, with that being said, what I'm going to do now is I am going to go over and redo all of my setups, and then I will show you how that turns out in a moment. Okay, we're back. We've already shown off what Renoa's got set up, but the one thing I did change is for the ultimate setup, you really want to go with Auto Haste, Strength, HP, and Speed plus 40, which ups our speed from about 96 or in and around the mid to low 90s all the way up to 130. There's one thing to even consider while doing this, which is beyond ridiculous. I haven't tested this one myself, but you may want to consider dropping the battle speed down to 25%. I know in speedruns, they specifically drop it from 100 to 75 and then down to 50 again, depending on what their speed stat is going to be when they get auto haste and when they get speed junction. But considering we have auto haste, speed junction, speed plus 40, it might actually be worthwhile getting it to slow down even more. And if you want kind of proof of whether this is going to work or not, set up a fight where you go into the fight and then you just draw 100 of a spell for everybody. It doesn't matter what it is, just go and draw it for everyone. Count the amount of turns that the enemy gets. Bahamut got 3 turns against me when I was drawing full lives from him. Ultima Weapon, I believe, got more than that, but Ultima Weapon is also, you know, Ultima Weapon and is really, really fast. But still, having this lowered and all that extra speed makes a massive difference. Alright, let's go back in here. That's the ideal if you want to do lots of damage and all that kind of good stuff. If you want to still work on leveling up those characters, then you'll probably want to put magic bonus on for you. Again, over here we have pretty much the same way, but I would want to put strength bonus on you. And as far as everything else, they're all set up the same. I put silence on your status attack, and everything's basically the same. The only change here is I've swapped around Meteor and Ultima, because with Meteor I still have max strength on Squall because he's just got so much strength at this point. It's ridiculous. Yeah, I don't need max HP, that's fine. Over here, again, same thing, but if you are going to try and level him up a little bit, then you may want to throw a couple of these other things on. Those would be my recommendations. You may also want to put magic bonus on. It's entirely up to you, however you want to do it. I don't really care for additional commands anymore. I'll probably lump in showing off how some of these commands work with the bonus episode that I have planned with all the GF summon animations. But yeah, other than that, I wouldn't worry too much. Your setup is the same. I did refine some more blinds so that each of my 3 characters has a different status attack to use. And over on Zell here, he only has the Brothers GF, which is why I went out of my way to make sure it had everything all on its own. So we've got, let's see here, as far as abilities go, right now the only ones that really matter are HP and Strength, but later on we're going to get access to Auto Haste and Speed plus 40, which are going to fill these bottom 2 slots and give him 4 really useful abilities. Oops. So yeah, that's how we have you set up. Again, pretty much all the same over here. 1 character of my backup has Sleep, 1 has Silence, and 1 has Blind. Sleep's more useful than anything else, but I figured I'd throw some variety in there. Magic plus 60 is kind of a holdover until we get access to Auto Haste and Speed plus 40. And the only reason I only got 2 of them is because I wanted to put them on characters who could benefit from them. Namely Quistis and Selphie for their limit breaks. Zell, he just needs his physical attack power because his limit requires him having really high physical attack power. So yeah, again, pretty much all the same setup there. Now, Carbuncle was the one I didn't give ability times 4 to yet because it already had ability times 3. We're going to get 1 more Rosetta Stone before the end of the game. I will use that once we get it, but for now, that's all we can do. We also want to give you 1 Speed Junction Scroll once we get that. Again, we'll get that later, along with getting Auto Haste and Speed plus 40. And over here, again, Magic plus 60, Spirit bonus because I had nothing better to put on there. And yeah, we will get 1 Elemental times 4, Defense times 4 for you later on as well. As far as spells that you want to hold around for your side characters, I would recommend going with Confuse, Berserk, Death, Pain, Full Life, Life, Shell, Flare, Holy, Ultima, Meltdown, Triple, Reflect, Meteor, and Curagas just so you can heal. The other things that I've gotten over the course of the game aren't required, but actually let's go into Junction and we'll show the ones that I am not already using for something. So yeah, I've got regens. Regen's just a good backup. It's not really required for anything else. Asunas are nice to be able to cast. Demis are just my offshoots from my main characters. I don't care about those anymore. Quakes we don't need anymore. If you want to go out of your way and get Evade Junction for some of your other characters, you will want to hold on to Tornadoes as well. Silence, Blind, Sleep, those three as well. Those aren't super required, but they're nice to have. Let's see here. Double if you want to get, well, you can't get more Hit Junction, but double are there just because they're easy to get. They're, again, a nice, fallback item to put on a stat if you don't have, say, triples yet. It works relatively well on most things. Dispels are nice to have as well. Those are really easy to refine. And, yeah, give them some aura spells. They don't need to max out their aura spells, but it's nice to have a few so they can use their limit breaks. Anyway, so if you want to get Luck Junction for your extra characters, one, you're going to have to remove even more abilities. Now, if you take a look at some of these GFs here, they do not even resemble what they used to have at the start of the game. I have room here for Auto Haste, Speed plus 40, and one more. Do you need anything else? Maybe you have an extra spot, I don't know. Doesn't really matter. But yeah, so like these completely do not resemble what they used to look like before. Completely different. We'll be removing ability times 4 when I get ability times 4. Give you Speed Junction, Auto Haste. Yes, these are going to be really close. I've had to check them out and count the ability slots that I'm going to have in order to make use of all of these things. If we have to, we'll get rid of Magic plus 60 because it's just a holdover until later anyway. But yeah, so we've done lots of work on those guys. If you want to try and get those other stats though, if you want to, say, get a Luck Junction, you shouldn't have killed Ultima Weapon, and you should have used Zell in order to go in there, because then you could have farmed Curse Spikes. You refine Curse Spikes into a Dark Matter. You can then also junction it and refine it into a Luck Junction scroll and give everybody Luck Junction. It's not required, and it takes too long for my taste, but the option's there. You can also change the Luck Junction scroll itself into a Luck Up, which just increases your base luck. So if you're going way over the top, you can max out your stats that way, or at least max out luck. If you need Evade Junction, you want barriers. You need 50 barriers refined into an Aegis Amulet. The only way to get barriers reliably is against the Behemoths, again, with the Vixen counterpoint in the Deep Sea Ruins, or Deep Sea Research Center, or whatever it's called. Again, once you kill Ultima, you can't do that anymore. I think it takes too long, so I'm not going to worry about it. There is no Evade Up ability, so there's nothing you can do about raising your Evade more, other than raising your Speed more, and junctioning as well as you can. Speed Junction, I would wait until later. Oh, by the way, the Luck Junction scrolls that we did get throughout the game, one was from the, my mind is blanking, the quest I hated, the Old Bell Lake side quest. One was from that, and then the other we stole in the last episode from Odin. The Evade Junction, or the Aegis Amulet, was a drop from fighting the UFO question mark before Poo Poo showed up. And Speed Junction scrolls, we've got 2 of those throughout the game. One was by fiddling with things as Laguna and then going into Lunatic Pandora with Zell's party and picking that up there. And the other one was stolen from Cerberus. If you want to increase your speed, you'll want to wait until later. There's no other fast way of doing it. So you'll have to wait later until we can get access to more rocket engines, and then we can get rocket engines and turn them into a Speed Junction scroll. Speed Junction scrolls can also move over into Speed Up, and then you can raise your speed that way as well. Hit Junction, you're crapped out of luck on. There's no way of getting any more Hit Junction than the ones we already have. Diablos has it, Cerberus has it, Eden has it. There's no other ones you can get in the game. It'd be nice if they gave you one more, because Selfie has 255 hit percentage, and so does Squall, but nobody else does. So no matter how you junction yourself, you'll never be able to get everyone maxed on hit percentage. Just not possible, unfortunately. If you need more Rosetta Stones and you don't want to wait for the one that's available later, 100 Curse Spikes becomes a Dark Matter, becomes a Shaman Stone, becomes a Rosetta Stone. And then for some reason the Rosetta Stone on one of the other junction things can also switch back into a Shaman Stone. It's stupid, I don't know, whatever. Let's see. If you need to get more of the Gaia's Rings for HP plus 80%, no. Then we'll want to go to the SR Pet Shop, and you'll want to buy Giant's Rings. 10 Giant's Rings becomes a Gaia's Ring, which gives you HP plus 80%. As I already demonstrated, Strength plus 60, 10 Power Wrists into a Hyper Wrist, Strength plus 60. Speed plus 40 are from Rocket Engines, which we, again, can't do right now. I believe you can do the similar pattern with Force Amulets and Hypno Crowns if you want higher magic or higher spirit. As far as Vitality goes, I don't know why Vitality isn't an option here, but there's other ways of getting that. Plus, we already had Adamantine's card if you want plus 60. There was 10 in that when we refined it, so it's great. Now, if you went out of your way and you got Angelo's Search, you can leave the game on in middle of battle and just let it accumulate items as long as you find a way of keeping yourself alive in that fight, and leave the game on overnight with Angelo's Search on. You can get many of these items, including like crazy stuff like Rosetta Stones, Dark Matter, Hungry Cook Pots, which eventually turn into both those things. Yeah, lots of stuff you can do if you so care to do that. But anyway, long episode is done. We have refined most of the cards that we have in the game. We don't have very many left. We're going to need the ones that we have because we're going to actually play a little bit more cards. Not next time, but next time we are going to do something with cards. And that's we're going to get rid of the last few annoying rules that are floating around in different parts of the world. In order to do that, we're going to have to go back to a few different areas. Trabia, the region we're currently in, Centra, and the Lunar region. Now you might think we can't go back to the Lunar region because, well, Lunar region is in outer frickin' space. Well, that's not exactly true. There is one area that is still in on the ground. No, not that one. And that is actually the Lunar Gate. The Lunar Gate, you can actually play cards and they use the Lunar rules. So we can manipulate the Lunar rules by coming here and carrying the appropriate set of rules. Now, if you remember last time, we were only able to get rid of one rule because we were in outer space and we couldn't go to another region. Now that we can go to another region, we're going to be able to get rid of more than just that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and pick up the one rule that they don't have, which is random, which is why I left that in the Central region earlier in the game. If you weren't able to get the random rule to abolish, and instead you got the plus rule to abolish instead, then you will need to go and pick up the plus rule, or the random rule. Either way, that's why I had one region, Trabia, has the plus rule still, I believe, and Centra has the random rule. Regardless of which rule of those two you eliminated in outer space, you now have access to pick that rule up because you need to have a rule that the Lunar region does not have in order to mix. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go pick up the appropriate set of rules, and then at the next episode, we're going to come back here, and we're going to eliminate a bunch of rules from here, namely just the plus and random rule, make sure those are both gone, and then we're going to remove those same two rules from both the Trabia region and the Central region. Anyway, this has been a long episode. We've spent a lot of time in the menu, but I think we've covered pretty much all that I wanted to do as far as equipment goes. So next time we're going to do a little bit of this stuff, and then finally we're going to move on and go check out what's going on with Lunatic Pandora, which is somewhere around here. I don't remember off the top of my head. It's somewhere. We'll go find it. Yeah, anyway, that's all for this one, and I'll see you guys next time.